There's a little bit about the SCAR project that wasn't included in Bearing It All, which, by the way, won an Emmy this past year, and as we're very proud of. In general, I'm very happy to only shoot the girls one time, and fortunately, most of them go on to recover and, at least so far, live beautiful, long, healthy lives, at least so far. Unfortunately, a definite percentage that's kind of been growing within the SCAR project do not necessarily improve and continue on. The disease is often very aggressive, and as the disease progresses, I try over the years to follow these women and document photographically the changes in their lives. Vanessa is obviously one of the first women I shot for the SCAR project, probably 7 years ago now. And there's been a few others that it hasn't gone well for. A couple have passed away, just one this past week. Vanessa's cancer has spread in different ways throughout her body, and she's currently in hospice. So there's an interesting evolution here, sitting at the table tonight, and Billy's her husband, and I think it'll be really interesting to talk to them. And Sylvie also has recently had a recurrence, and these things are just never good in general. Anyway, I just wanted to fill you in on a little bit of the SCAR project that the Style Network wasn't really interested in discussing.
I wonder if you've been contacted by anybody under the age of 18 about shooting them. How common is it? You cut off at 18, and I suspect for legal reasons?
No, nothing is illegal for me. It's really just, I began the SCAR project, as you know, there's shooting because of Paulina, and there was so much media direction towards 40 and over. I thought I would go 40 and under, and then there were so many respondents who wanted to participate, so many subjects, unfortunately, that it was 40 and under, and then 35 and under, and then 25 and under. And in the last couple of years, all the girls have been in their early 20s, and some being diagnosed in their late teens. It's not that I haven't shot them. There isn't actually a cutoff. I just haven't been presented with any subject under the age of, let's say, 17. Yeah. And then we are getting into that legal thing, but that certainly wouldn't stop me from shooting it. Yeah. And I would eventually like to do a project of much older women, perhaps in their 70s or 80s, that have kind of made it through and have a bodies like a roadmap of life that just, and scars is one of the scars are just one of the highways. And yeah, hopefully that'll come later, maybe after the Unknown Soldier project.
What have you, one thing you've come away with that is kind of not personal, we don't have to get too personal, but something really that has touched you? I think after I got my picture taken, we had like exhibits everywhere, and then everybody thought I was like a hero or famous, I think. I think in Cincinnati, I was the only one in the SCAR project exhibit, so they typed in my name that I was in it, and then everybody was like, "Wow, she's so famous." So that was really fun. So that was a good time. So thanks, David. The other thing I want to say is I really love Billy, because he's like a random, absolutely random guy that has good manners and is very polite and helps me with everything. So I love you.
Thank you.
I love you.
So I have two comments. The first one would be, before I heard about the SCAR project, I was faced with the decision to have a lumpectomy or mastectomy. So I had up until the surgery date, and I was just so like, oh my God, and I had a week to decide, and I was so like confused, like what am I gonna do? So I went on the internet and I Googled, and that's how I found the SCAR project, and it was really, even for myself, really shocking, but it helped me to lost knowledge of what it was going to be like if I was going to go down that road or whatever road I decided. And the second part would probably be, you know, we're just living our lives, and we're coping with whatever life throws our way. And just by sharing our story, it's just amazing, like how many lives like we've touched. So I don't know how many other breast cancer survivors are in here, but just like I'm sure you guys have all inspired so many other people just by living your life and what people deem as strong, but you're just, you know, dealing with life as you can. As what else should you do, you know? So.
How can we reach women and encourage them to screen for early detection?
I think in Vanessa's case, and Sylvia's too, you found them yourselves, right?
So, sorry, go ahead.
And I think in general, it seems like girls are good, even younger girls, at checking and knowing when something's different. And in Vanessa's case, she was misdiagnosed, and the problem seems to come in with doctors in some cases. They just don't believe that young women can get breast cancer. And even today, like 7 years ago, Vanessa was misdiagnosed, and it still is happening today, that a young girl will go in and the doctor just won't believe she has breast cancer and won't do the screenings. And then the girl goes on and it just gets worse. So I don't know, part of it is to help educate doctors, even like Vanessa's OBGYN. I mean, she went every year and the doctor's checking the chest and not saying anything. So,
Education is care.
yes.
I think that's huge, yeah, it's huge.
The scar project now, so many years down the road, is this what you expected? Is this where you thought it would be by this time?
You know, I had no idea where the SCAR project was going to go. When I first took Paulina's picture, there was no SCAR project at all, or I just really took Paulina's because I needed to take hers. And it's been really fascinating to see the progression of the whole thing, and just really disturbing at times and really amazingly beautiful at times. When I first started, I don't know if this was in the documentary, but because I didn't watch it, I've actually only seen it once. And when I first came from Australia back to New York, and I posted in one of the Young Women's Breast Cancer Forums, YSC, Young Survivors Coalition, just saying, yeah, I'm a photographer and I'm starting this project, and I had 3 pictures, the 3 that I had taken in Australia originally. And if you're interested in participating, give me a shout. And I honestly didn't know if anyone would respond, or if anyone would even want to look at the pictures after they were taken. And I was really surprised that there were so many young women. I was really surprised that there were so many young women with breast cancer in the first place. And over the course of the last 7 years, it's just literally outrageous how many young women there are in their teens and 20s. And yeah, so I'm very surprised as to the direction it has taken, and you know, it'll be interesting to follow it along over the course of our lifetimes and continue shooting and see what happens to these women.
Well, I didn't really have any expectations. I'm actually involved in 2 documentaries, so and I travel a lot, so it's crazy. Like I was in Thailand once, and somebody came up from the market and was like, "I saw you on TV." Friends in France like send me screenshots. So it's crazy. Like, and then I was like getting radiation just in September, and my radiation oncologist was like, "Look what I saw!" Like, and he showed me like somebody had posted the link to a newspaper article from the SCAR project, and he's like, "It's you!" I was like, "Yeah." So yeah, I'm blown away by the response for sure. It's definitely, I think, exceeded whatever expectations we might have had.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the SCAR project, aside from the documentary, which has now been played all over the world, which is just really fantastic, the exhibition, the images of the exhibition have gotten so much attention. Honestly, they've been in every newspaper, magazine throughout the world, in countries you would never expect. We've gotten requests from Iran to bring the exhibition there, everywhere in the world. So it's been, I think, really a beneficial series around the globe for people to be educated and see a perspective that they hadn't been allowed to see before. And I think too, ultimately, the SCAR project isn't really just about breast cancer. As I've watched the girls and seen their evolution and the evolution of myself as a photographer and as a man, over the last 7 years, I think I've realized that the SCAR project isn't really just about breast cancer, but about so many other things, self-acceptance and the way we treat each other, compassion and understanding, being honest, or, just so many other layers that have nothing to do with breast cancer or any cancer. And I hope that that comes through too in the documentary and the exhibition. And the next one too, the Unknown Soldier Project. A bunch of 20-year-old guys with their arms and legs blown off. It really has nothing to do with war and everything to do with us.
Can Vanessa tell us about the card in front of her?
This one?
This is Vanessa's project that she started with her sisters. It's called the Live Sincerely Project, and it's her blog, and it's her inspiration to try to live each day to the fullest and don't wait until you're in this situation to live your life and try to go out and do what you want to do.